Hello guys, today we shall be starting with the problems in our module 2, that is sale of partnership firm or conversion of partnership firm. So first let us look into how to calculate purchase consideration. I have told you purchase consideration can be calculated under two ways. One is net assets method and net payment method. If it is in case of net payment method, you don't have any issues because they will be giving you the amount of purchase consideration. So you need not calculate anything there. Only it is if it is in the case of net assets method. They will give you the values of assets and values of liabilities where you have to calculate purchase consideration. So first today let us solve one problem on how to calculate purchase consideration under net assets method. So let us go through the question. Question number 3, page number 194. So there are possibilities of you getting 5 marks problems on calculation of purchase consideration under net assets method in your examinations. Let us go through the question. Problem number 3, page number 194. P Company Limited agreed to take over the assets of a firm as under machinery, land and building, stock, debtors and goodwill. They have given you the values of which were agreed by P Company Limited to take over the assets. These are agreed value of assets to be taken over. They are not the book values of assets. Yes. Next, these are agreed values but not book values. You have to remember this. Next, the company also agreed to take over its creditors and bills payable at book values. Assets were taken over at agreed values, whereas creditors and bills payable, that is liabilities, were taken over at book values, 8,000 and 7,000 respectively. The purchase consideration was settled by issue of 5,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each and the balance in cash. And I have also told you in the previous video, settlement of purchase consideration, that is mode of payment of purchase consideration. It might be either in terms of it might be either in terms of equity shares, or it might be in terms of debentures, or it might be in terms of cash, or it might be combination of all these three or any of these three. Yes, so here what is the combination? Some part of purchase consideration is given as form of equity shares and remaining is settled in terms of cash. So this is mode of payment. First what we have to do is calculate purchase consideration. How should we do that? There is a format. I have already shared you the format in the theory part. How should you do? Agreed value of assets taken over minus agreed value of liabilities taken over. You will arrive at purchase consideration. And that purchase consideration you should show mode of payment of purchase consideration. Now let us go to solution part. So problems on purchase consideration, we are solving the first one, that is third problem, page number 194. First write down the heading, calculation of purchase consideration. Later, what is the method you are using? In the question, they have given you the value of assets and value of liabilities taken over. That means what? You are using net assets method. Instead of giving value of assets and liabilities, if they had given the value of purchase consideration, that will become net payment method. But here they have given value of assets and liabilities. So it is method net assets method. So let us look into the calculation part. Now, calculation. First step, what you have to do? Agreed value of assets taken over. Write down the agreed value of all the assets taken over. Machinery, land and building, stock, debtors and goodwill. Whatever the value given in the question, agreed value of assets taken over, write down those values. Total you will get it as 70,000. Second step is deduct the agreed value of liabilities taken over. So at what value did they agree? They have taken over the liabilities, that is creditors and bills payable, at book value itself. So creditors 8,000, bills payable 7,000. Total is 15,000. Now you have to deduct this from the agreed value of assets taken over. Yes. So 70,000 minus 15,000, you will arrive at 55,000. So what is the amount of purchase consideration? 55,000. Agreed value of assets taken over minus, that is less agreed value of liabilities taken over, you will come at purchase consideration, that is 55,000. So first part of purchase consideration is done. Now what you have to do is you have to show the mode of payment of this 55,000. So in this you will be showing the mode of payment of this 55,000. How did they pay this 55,000? They have paid this 55,000 in the combination of two things. One is equity shares and another one is cash. Yes. So first one, equity shares. Equity shares. How many equity shares did they give? 5,000 equity shares worth rupees 10 each. So 5,000 equity shares. Each share is how much value? 10 rupees. Yes, 5,000 into 10. What will be the amount? 50,000 rupees. So out of 55,000, 50,000 is paid in terms of equity shares. How many equity shares are they giving? 5,000 equity shares, and each share is costing rupees 10 rupees. So 5,000 into 10, 50,000 is worth of equity shares what P company is giving to the firm. So second part is what? Cash. So left out part is made as payment of cash. It is given in the question. So how will you come to know what is the left out part? What was purchase consideration? 55,000. In that, how much did they give equity shares? 50,000. So 55,000 minus 50,000. Remaining amount is in the mode of payment of cash. So 5,000 is in the mode of payment of cash. So what is combination of mode of payment? Equity shares worth rupees 50,000 and cash worth rupees 5,000. Total is 55,000. You arrived at the same value, 55,000 purchase consideration. Yes, 55,000 purchase consideration. So what you have to do in these kind of problems, first you have to calculate first part, that is calculation of purchase consideration. Write down the agreed value of assets taken over. From that, deduct agreed value of liabilities taken over. You will arrive at purchase consideration. Now, second part is what? You have to show the mode of payment of purchase consideration. In the given question, it is in mode of two modes, that is equity shares and remaining balance amount in terms of cash. Equity shares 5,000 worth rupees shares into 10 rupees each, 50,000. So cash remaining amount is settled in cash. That means 55,000 total purchase consideration minus how much equity shares they have given? 50,000 worth. So 5,000 in terms of cash. So total purchase consideration is 55,000. This is how you calculate purchase consideration under net assets method.